Good morning, everyone. It is another beautiful day in New York. I stayed near Hammondsport last night at Elm Boys Campground. This is a top 5 campground for me. We got these beautiful ponds. It's peaceful. I had a great campsite, but it is time to roll on. And thinking about it, I've been in New York for roughly a week now. Really enjoyed it. I saw quite a bit. But we got to get rolling. We got to make our way back towards Chicago because we got to get ready for our Key West trip. Just because we got to get back to Chicago and plan for Key West doesn't mean I'm in a rush. I'm still going to see cool stuff just along the way back to Chicago. So today we're finally getting out of New York. We're going to make our way towards Cleveland. I got about 4 or 5 stops I want to see right there in Cleveland, and even a few along the way. But first things first, I'm sure you know by now, we gotta roll into town, get some coffee. I have made it to my first interesting stop of the day. I am in Ashtabula County, Ohio at Smolin Gulf Covered Bridge. At 613 feet long, it is the longest covered bridge in the United States. The original bridge was built here in 1867, went until 1949 when a steel bridge was built, and that lasted until 2006 when construction began on this one and was completed in 2008. The Smolin Gulf Bridge also holds the title of the 4th largest covered bridge in the world. In addition to that, I just rolled 40,000 miles on the bike, and there's a gigantic storm coming my way, so we're definitely gonna get wet. Just the way it goes. Conveniently located 15 minutes from the Smolin Gulf Bridge, I am in Geneva, Ohio at my next interesting stop. You have seen the nation's longest covered bridge. Now at 18 feet in length, the Liberty Street Covered Bridge is the nation's shortest covered bridge. In 2008, when the Smolin Gulf Bridge was completed, there was a huge spotlight and a lot of excitement over in Ashtabula County. So much so that the people over in Geneva, well, they got a little jealous and they wanted some excitement for themselves as well. So construction began on the Liberty Street Covered Bridge in 2008 and it was completed in 2011. And if you're keeping track, it took them 2 years to build the nation's longest covered bridge. Nation's shortest, well, that took 3. We just had a wet ride into Cleveland, Ohio, but rain or shine, the adventure never stops. I'm in downtown Cleveland right now, probably illegally parked, all because the world's largest outdoor chandelier is right there. Installed May 2nd, 2014. It is at the intersection of Euclid and 14th Street. It is made of stainless steel and 4,200 acrylic crystals. You might be wondering, Curtis, where are you gonna camp in downtown Cleveland? Are you gonna set your tent up in the rain? The answer is I'm not camping. I'm getting a hotel for the night. But before we do that, we got one more stop to make. We have made it to the last stop of the day, the world's largest rubber stamp. It's 28 by 48 in size and was commissioned to be built in 1985 by Standard Oil of Ohio. It was intended to be displayed in front of their headquarters on Euclid Avenue, but management changed before it was completed, and upon completion, it went to Whiting, Indiana, and it was stored in a warehouse until 1991 when BP Amoco purchased the company and donated it to the city of Cleveland. That is gonna do it for the rubber stamp. Let's roll to the hotel, get dried out. I just rolled into the hotel, got me a good hot shower. I got things drying out. So I want to share with you one of my secrets to success. So when you're on a bike and it rains a lot, you know, you throw your rain gear on, you still get wet, you know, your helmet, your rain gear, everything. You got to dry that stuff out. It just sucks. Even when it's not raining, you're wearing wet stuff, wet clothes, gloves, boots, helmet, whatever. So here's what I do to dry my stuff out. Besides laying everything out so it gets some air, let it breathe, I get the hair dryer going and get it propped up into my helmet, into some gloves, my boots, whatever. Just get that thing going, wear it out, dry stuff out pretty quick. Good morning, everyone. It is a fresh new day here in Cleveland, Ohio, and it is dry. You're probably wondering why I was out adventuring in the dark, in the rain, in downtown Cleveland last night. That's because Cleveland has a lot, and I got to see it all. Today we have a lot to do, and I'm at the first stop already. I am at the filming location of the 1983 movie, A Christmas Story. That's right, the actual house, the Bumpus house, is right here in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's check it out. I just finished up the tour of the house. It was really interesting to be right there in the house the way it was for the movie. The house was built in 1895 and was bought by Brian Jones in 2004. At the time he saw it on eBay, it was going for about $100,000 and he gave $150,000 to stop the bidding. Then he put about $270,000 into renovations to undo the stuff that was done, to modernize it and bring it back to the way it was in the movie. You can actually rent the house out on a nightly basis, or the Bumpus house next door. On a night like tonight, it'll cost you about $650 to $700 to stay in the apartment above what was used for filming. When you get closer into December, January, be about $1,000, and Christmas Eve, that'll cost you about $3,000 to $5,000. But you better book it now, because they're booked for 5 years. That is gonna do it for my time here at the A Christmas Story house. Let's jump on the bike, head into downtown Cleveland for my next stop. I just arrived at my next stop, and unfortunately it is not the USS Cod Submarine Museum right behind me. I'll save that for my next trip to Cleveland, because we are going to check out the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I got about 3.5 hours until it closes. Hopefully that's enough time. Let's check it out. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If you're wondering where the term rock and roll came from, it originated from a man named Alan Freed. Alan was a disc jockey who began using the term in 1951 to describe up-tempo rhythm and blues music. Now you know. This is a pretty cool exhibit. You got all kinds of different guitars, drum sets, keyboards, information that'll teach you how to play. All you gotta do is pick up one and play it. That is a wrap on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Just an amazing collection of priceless artifacts in that beautiful building right there on Lake Erie in downtown Cleveland. We're gonna roll to Findlay Lake State Park and set up camp for the night. Good morning, everyone. It is the start of a brand new day, and I stayed in Findlay Lake State Park last night, but it's time to roll on. As you know, I've been making my way towards Chicago. Got to get the bike worked on a little bit, do some servicing, get ready for a big trip to Key West, Florida. But today's plans are, they're a little bit up in the air right now. Might just go all the way to Chicago, might stop in Fort Wayne. There's something pretty cool there I've been wanting to see. We'll see what happens. I'm just gonna jump on the bike and let the road tell me. So, let's get to it. Just rolled into Chicago. It is a little above 50 degrees. A little cool, actually not too bad with all the gear I got on. But I'm probably be in Chicago for about 6 days. Just kind of get the bike ready to go. And planning for Key West. It is definitely warmer than 50 degrees there. So anyway, I'm gonna go visit with my family, unpack this bike, and get ready for Key West. It's time to wrap up the video. I did Hammondsport to Cleveland, Ohio. Had a good little breakfast right there in town. Hammondsport, just a cool little postcard town. Real small, quiet, and just nice, relaxing, beautiful there in the fall. Rolled on to the nation's longest covered bridge. Check that out. Pretty cool, still pretty rustic. Good stop there, and then right around the corner to the nation's shortest. Definitely cool there as well. Just kind of odd and unique, something kind of just for fun. Kind of seems like it was pretty and interesting that they're really close, but cool couple stops there. And then I was on to Cleveland. From there, threw the rain gear on, and we rode on into town in the dark. Found the world's largest chandelier, which actually was pretty good time to see it in the dark, at least, because it was all lit up real pretty. And then I was getting pretty wet. And just right around the corner, I hit the nation's largest rubber stamp. So that was a cool stop as well. It's not really rubber, obviously, but cool to see it nonetheless. It was real big. We rolled on to the hotel, got dried out, got something to eat. A little bit of a late night, but no big deal. I was up early in the next morning, rolled on to the A Christmas Story House, which that was a really cool experience. They got so much going on there. taking the tour, you see the whole house, you could touch stuff, get underneath the sink, and they really want you to like act out what your favorite parts are in the movie. You know, they like tell you can touch the lamp or whatever if you want to. So the tour is cool. And then you go to the museum after that, right across the street, which was also really interesting. There was a lot going on in the museum, so many different artifacts that were used in the movie, the outfits, the chalkboard, the BB gun, really cool to see. And they even had some pictures and the eBay listing from when the house was bought, pictures of what it looked like initially when he first bought it. And pretty interesting to see. They didn't really turn out good for the camera, so I didn't show them to you guys, but interesting nonetheless. Rolled on to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame from there, which was so cool. Just so many interesting historical artifacts with so many bands, and you could do that place a few different times. Just so much to see there. You can't do it all in one trip. So definitely would like to go back there sometime. It's starting to rain on me, but you know, that's just the way it goes. No big deal. Anyway, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was a blast. And then not too far from there in the right direction is Findlay Lake State Park. Stayed over there. Nice state park, kind of in the middle of farmland, but it was a nice wooded property. It used to be a governor. He bought all this property, I think in the 30s is the story, but turned it into a campground, and that was a nice little campground. I mean, a lot of families there, you know, so that stuff going on, not really my style, not a whole lot secluded, but good stay there nonetheless. Got up in the morning and I was considering stopping in Fort Wayne. They got a huge pinball place there. They got like over 150 games, and I was thinking about stopping there, staying in Fort Wayne another night, but I said, you know what, I got the time, I'm gonna get to Chicago, get back, hang out with my family, and skip out on paying for another hotel or campsite again, just to save a couple dollars. But did ride some rain here and there. Obviously the Cleveland rain, I hit rain on the way back to Chicago, but it's all good, no big deal. Wasn't a whole lot of storms or nothing, just kind of rain passing through here and there. So solid few days, definitely had some fun, but made it back to Chicago and got to get the servicing done on the bike, you know, helping out my mom with some things, hanging out with my family, my Gram, and hi Graham, by the way. And anyway, we're gonna do some planning and start making our way south after this. Gonna be some incredible videos coming up, so stay tuned for that. You're definitely gonna enjoy it. I'm having a blast. Hope y'all are enjoying the videos. Really appreciate all y'all watching, all the likes, comments, support. If you see something in your area you think is cool in the south or whatever, throw a comment down what I should see. I'd love to hear you guys' input. So with that, I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.